Hey folks, Wednesday night was the top 10 results show on season 9 of American Idol, and so much for this being a girls' year. 3 weeks into the top 12 and 3 girls down already. I swear these ladies are dropping faster than this season's ratings. Now, one of them may still go on to win. Actually, I think only one of them really stands a chance of winning, but it damn sure won't be Didi Benami because she was eliminated. I was a little bit disappointed by that. I was hoping to see Didi last a little bit longer. But actually, I think I'm the only one that did not predict it. I think everybody else was predicting Didi at least being in the bottom 3, if not going home. But my predictions have been crap this season. Maybe it was just wishful thinking, but I don't think anybody's really keeping count anyway. The show started with a lame mashup of American Idol clips and previews for the movie Clash of the Titans. I don't know whose silly idea that was, but I think promoting a movie by comparing it to this season's top 10 may not have been a very smart idea. Then Ruben Studdard got things going with his new song, Don't Make 'Em Like You No More. You know, it was a fairly typical Ruben Studdard performance. He's lost a lot of weight, though, hasn't he? Ruben is shrinking so fast. I still don't understand, though, why he was ever got the nickname the Velvet Teddy Bear. No, a teddy bear is something people want to snuggle up with, and I don't know anybody that's ever wanted to snuggle up with Ruben Studdard. He's always so wet. He always seems so wet and sweaty. But he wasn't wet during his performance, was he? He was dry as a bone. That was a little bit surprising to me. I think it's the first time I've ever seen Ruben dry on the American Idol stage. But I think they must have had some of those industrial-type fans blowing on him while he performed, because when his performance was over and he was talking to Ryan Seacrest, he was starting to glisten. I guess they must have turned those fans off so they wouldn't mess up Ryan's hair. Such a diva, that Ryan Seacrest. Next was the Ford music video in which everybody was kung fu fighting, except Casey James, that is. He appeared to be on a beer run, and they were all trying to kick his ass, but they kept missing him. I thought it was a pretty good Ford video. Next was another plug for the Clash of the Titans movie. Boy, they're trying to sell that movie, aren't they? You know, I don't plan on going to the theater to see it, and I don't care if I don't ever see it. And I damn sure don't care if Crystal Bowersox went to see it. I swear, it's not good enough that they take a commercial break every few seconds on the show. Now, it's like the whole thing has turned into one big advertisement. Or advertisement, as Simon Cowell would say. Finally, on to the results. DeWyze was safe. Does that boy ever smile? I know he cracks a little nervous, forced grin ever so often, but I don't think he ever really lets out a real smile. I think he needs to loosen up and show some personality. Next, Casey James was safe. He said he doesn't know how to challenge himself like Ellen and Kara want him to. Next, Aaron Kelly was safe. Ryan asked Aaron if he'd ever been in love. Well, of course he hasn't. He's only 16 years old. Randy's suggestion to him was to sing to his parents in order to feel the emotion. He said it's the same sort of emotion, just a little twisted. What, you mean twisted like season 6 when Jared Cotter sang Let's Get It On to his mom and dad? Then Ryan Seacrest started harassing Simon again. Is it just me, or is Ryan Seacrest becoming a totally unlikable asshat this season? I'm getting to where I can't stand watching him. From his badgering of Didi Benami to getting down in Simon's face, he comes across as one of those people that we've all known that are like really hyper, and they try to be a clown all the time, and sometimes it's funny, but they don't know when enough is enough, and when you try to tell them to stop, they just laugh and keep going, and you just want to punch them in the freaking jaw. That's how Ryan Seacrest is becoming to me this season. Then Kara Dioguardi made a fool of herself. She said, I know who Simon's in love with. Himself. Yeah, Kara. That joke might have been funny if Ryan hadn't told it 15 seconds ago. Next, Siobhan was safe, but if she keeps doing like she did this last week, I don't think she'll be able to avoid the timeout stools for very long. So, Katie is once again in the bottom 3. Katie Stevens, bottom 3, not a surprise. She'll probably remain there until she's eliminated. Next, Usher with Will I Am. Oh, before Usher came out, Ryan sat down to talk to Justin Bieber. Did you all see Justin Bieber grab his crotch? Was I the only one that saw that? I wonder why he did that. I wonder why he would put his hand down there on his boyhood on national television. It's kind of weird. Of course, when you're that young, though, and you're a young man, sometimes embarrassing things happen, but you don't want to put your hand down there and draw attention to it. So, Usher sang with Will I Am, singing OMG. What an appropriate song title, because I was saying, oh my God, through the whole thing, it was horrible. With the booty and the boobies, though, I thought that was a little bit inappropriate for TV. Usher sounded like feces. Next, Didi is in the bottom 3. I was disappointed, and I was disappointed when she went home. And I thought Ryan should have apologized for badgering her, but of course he didn't. Didi explained that she hasn't brought the guitar out much because she's still a beginner, and she hasn't played it very long, and she's not comfortable with it yet. Next, Big Mike is safe. Ryan Seacrest tried to fake him out, and the crowd just gasped in disbelief. I thought everybody in there was going to faint. And so then Big Mike picked Ryan up and tossed him around like a rag doll. I wish he had slammed him down Hulk Hogan style. Wouldn't that have been fun? I'd like to see that happen this season. Next, Crystal Bowersox was safe. Andrew was safe. He keeps avoiding the bottom three. I knew he had a pretty good online following since day one, but I didn't know it was that good. But I wonder how long it's going to carry him. So Tim was in the bottom three. He got interrogated for smiling. Everybody wonders why he's having a good time. Well, Tim made up this excuse that every time he's on stage it might be his last time, so he doesn't want to leave with any regrets, and he might as well have fun. But the smile is really kind of new, isn't it? During the semifinals, when the judges would not enjoy his performance, he would sit there and grimace and make all these grimacing faces. And so the smile is, I think I said earlier in the season, I think he should smile more, because when Tim Urban smiles, he's like more adorable than all the kittens and puppies in the world put together. Next, Katie was sent back to safety. Why do they keep putting 3 stools out there, yet they never have all 3 of them in the stools at the same time? It just doesn't make any sense. After that, the artist formerly known as Puff Daddy came out to perform. I don't even remember the name of the song. It was awful. It was lip-synced. And they had a warning before the performance that there were going to be strobe lights. Well, I didn't know there were going to be strobe lights like that. I almost started having seizures, and I'm not even epileptic. And so, finally, Didi was eliminated. The judges decided not to save her, but Simon teased her with it. You started thinking that they were going to save her, and they didn't save her. So I think she's had a bad week, from being badgered by Ryan Seacrest to being teased by Simon Cowell. It's not been a good week for Didi Benami, but what can you do? She sang Rhiannon again, and it was okay. Didi, though, says that she wants to do folk, acoustic, soul, acoustic kind of fusion stuff with a little jazz and a little bluegrass and a little bit of everything. That's the problem. That's the problem. You can't do all these things. You can't do a little bit of everything. You have to choose what kind of music you're going to do and stick with it. Do you think Carrie Underwood would have been as successful as she's been if she had not stuck with country music? Do you think Chris Daughtry would have been as successful as he's been if he'd not stuck with his thing? Or Kelly Clarkson? Or any of them that's been successful? Do you think they would have done as well if they had tried to do a little bit of everything? No. So anyway, that was it for this week. Next week, Beatles week. The Lennon-McCartney songbook that I got wore out on in season 7 when they did it 2 weeks in a row. And I sure hope they don't do it 2 weeks in a row this year. I want some good current themes, but what can you do? I'll see you folks later.